And we're back with another Craft Beverage Media video introducing marketing tips and tools to help you grow your craft beverage business. Today's topic is 3 things to consider when designing your product package. And today we're happy to invite Andy Kurtz and Alex Blake of Buttermilk Creative to help us with this topic.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, we're glad to have you here. And before we get started into the topic, why don't you tell us a little bit about Buttermilk Creative?
Sure. Buttermilk Creative is a graphic design studio. We specialize in product packaging as well as brand identity and logos, visual marketing. We can do all of that, but we really like to focus on the product packaging and designing it to tell your story and stand out on the shelf.
And just to let everyone know, we're really happy to have you guys on board with Craft Beverage Media. It's nice to have, you have part of the team to do things that we can't do. You guys, I think we noticed your graphics online. Actually, we connected through Twitter, and you guys had reached out to us, and so it's been a great partnership thus far. All right, so let's get into the topic. 3 things to consider when designing your product package, and the number 1 would be, does it stand out? So I'll let you guys have the floor and tell us, how do we deal with making a product stand out?
Standing out on the shelf, I think, is what every product is trying to do. It's one of the most important things, and the best way to make your product stand out on the shelf is to design unique packaging around it. Every customer that walks by isn't going to be able to open your product and taste it, so you really have to be able to communicate that through your label design and your package design. One of the first things that we do in our process is that we go out and we look at what the competition looks like, and we look at what that entire set looks like. We look at what other people are doing, and how can we do it differently? How can we make your product look better than the competition? And another part of the process is, hearing your story and hearing the story of your brand, and really conveying that through the packaging as well.
Yeah, it's essential that you do stand out on the shelf, because like Alex said, that's how you get the shopper to purchase you. So and there's so many ways to do that. And the more innovative, the better. There's a lot of options out there. There's printing techniques, there's substrate options. It's all out there, especially in the craft beverage world, is where people go sort of crazy. So, yeah.
Yeah, and to play off of what Andy just said, oftentimes the consumer does pick your package up and touch it and feel it. So using an interesting substrate or a printing technique or any little detail that you can add to your packaging that makes the customer say, ooh, or ah.
Usually if you've drawn them to your product and they've picked it up, you have a pretty good probability that they'll put it in that basket and purchase it. So.
Well, I know for us, being in the craft beverage industry, it's really a unique industry. It's so niche that there are a lot of stories to be told, and it's a very personal industry where everyone's business kind of exudes their personality. And Alex, you already referenced about a product needing to tell a story. So let's go into that as number 2. Does your product tell a story? How are you, as the professionals, go about helping a craft beverage business get their product to tell their unique story?
We like to start out with what we call the discovery phase. And that's when we really sit down with you and we hear all about where your product comes from. Where did the idea come from? Why are you so passionate about it? What does the name of your company mean? How did you come up with that? And we start to find little details that we can play off of. We also like to make sure that your brand, whether it's created or whether we're creating it for you, make sure that that matches the quality of your product as well. I think that it's very important that the package design matches the quality of the product inside.
And it reflects the voice, so it can't speak for itself. So you need to make sure that that whatever it just reflects you. And so there's I enjoy all the different characters that are out there in craft beverage, and and it is a unique industry, and it's just a great place to explore all these different stories. And so, yeah, whether you have a tiny little label for a bitters or a big carton for your wine case, it should still tell your story in some way. And when we sit down and talk with you, we really, we want to know your history. We want to know. We don't just want to, we want to get to know you as a person, not just, let's hear about the product, let's taste the product, because there are little cues and there's little things that we can pull from to design things around. So
and to find that emotional connection with the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
Is it an emotional connection? Is it a humorous connection? Is it a nostalgic connection? But figuring out what that connection is and then creating the look and feel based on that.
And it's great because, even though there are so many stories out there, so many brands, you own your own story. So it's gonna be unique. It's just it's honing in on those special little pieces of it, and then elaborating on them, or making sure you hit on those and accentuating them. So
yeah. And this industry is growing at such a rapid pace. Every week, every month, you've got more and more competition within your local area. Just recently, I saw an article just within Tampa alone. There were 6 craft beverage businesses that had opened up within just a matter of a few years, all within just a few miles of each other.
Wow.
And so it's even more important that your brand and your package makes you unique enough and gives that story. And as you were alluding to, Alex, it evokes that moment of empathy that you identify with it and pick it up and make that purchase.
Definitely.
All right, so does it stand out? Does it tell your story? And the third one is not quite as warm and fuzzy, but it's necessary nonetheless, and perhaps more necessary than people realize. Does it meet legal requirements?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, this is a biggie.
This is one that we are constantly learning about as well. But it's nearly impossible to know every legal requirement that's required of your packaging in every state. So a lot of research needs to go into this one. If you want to use language on your packaging like organic or all natural, there are specifications that you have to meet to use that language. Things like your net weight statement. Who knew that had to be a certain size?
Yeah.
Your statement of identification. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that has to be a certain size. Where things fall. The ingredient statement has to fall directly in line with something else on your packaging. So there's a ton of specs that we have to research and then follow strictly with every packaging project that we do.
It's also, in addition to that, the permitting, I guess it's permitting, where you actually, so for alcoholic beverages specifically, it needs to go through a series of permitting to even go on the shelf. So even before you even go to print or anything like that, it needs to go to whatever, like for instance in North Carolina, it would go through the ABC board to get approved. So it's just knowing about all those nuances and then making sure, because you do not want to be sitting there on shelf and some regulator comes out and you get fined or worse, pulled off the shelf and told you need to toss all this packaging inventory. So.
Yeah.
You just have to be aware and try to hit on all those requirements as best as you can.
Right, and to have someone such as Buttermilk do your packaging for you, and to hand that responsibility over to you guys, who, because it's a part of your business, it's a part of the maintenance of what you do on a daily basis, is comforting. To know that I've got enough going on to run my business. I'm going to hand this legal responsibility over to you guys and let you worry about that and go ahead and get it within the whole design of the package.
Yeah, it really is going to not come full circle, but it really is going to allow you, the business owner, brewer, whoever, to focus on the important things. So so yeah, it's and I would say, yeah, it's definitely essential that you hire professionals who know what they're doing to really express your label and your brand.
All right, well, there you go, folks. We've got a great subject matter today. 3 things to consider when designing your product package. Does it stand out? Does it tell your story? And does it meet legal requirements? So thanks so much to Buttermilk Creative for being with us today and helping us work through these topics. And if you want to know more about Buttermilk Creative, where can they reach you guys?
They can go to buttermilkcreative.com.
All right, and we also have a page on Craft Beverage Media where you can find Buttermilk as well, and we're very happy to have them on our team, and all of the graphics that you see as you go through Craft Beverage Media services can be attributed directly to Buttermilk Creative. So we're thankful to have them with us. So thanks for joining us today, and don't forget to come back next time to our blog right here on Craft Beverage Media to find another service and a tool that we want to introduce to you to add to your marketing strategy for your craft beverage business. Don't forget, you can always reach out to us at info@craftbeveragemedia.com, or you can just simply go to the contact page on the website and send us a message there. We check that daily, and we'll respond to you as quickly as we can. So for myself and for Buttermilk Creative, we appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.